Y'all, welcome back with another reaction, man. I thought I was finished for the night. Somebody sent me some information, then I had to go back and revise what I said. But I'm not. But in the Who, we are back with Nolan Wells investigation and with your girl. Let's Talk Choices TV. Lanita. Y'all, this is a real case, y'all. This is a real case. I came on early. I told y'all showed y'all the video to go back and watch. Oh my goodness. It's so much going on. I'm in a situation where I believe the mom and I believe the boys. Okay? I'm stuck in a situation where I believe them and I believe her. Okay? And her is the mom. So a couple videos that we're going to get into, we're going to dive into. We're going to go ahead on and get started, y'all. We ain't waiting around. You know how old folk do. We don't wait around. So make sure these are my opinions, and my opinions not necessarily based on facts. But if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do get your membership, y'all. It may be $9, but it's okay. But y'all, we got to get into this case. This is like almost a tug of war. Okay? Now, I'm in a situation where I believe the mom and I believe the boys. But something just ain't right. What Keith Sweat says, something just ain't right. See, when you have, okay, it's plenty of people like me that we're not on nobody's side. We trying to find out what happened to Nolan. That's all we want to know. That phone, I'm back, y'all, about that phone. I'm back about that phone. I'm back about the phone, y'all. I'm back about the phone. Y'all gotta work with me with my phone, okay? And I can't wait till somebody's supposed to be coming in and instructing show me what I can do on my StreamYard so y'all can come out and talk. Because I got a space where you can come out and speak your opinion. Now, this afternoon, I showed y'all a video of the young men's. I believe the boys, I believe the moms. Okay? I believe the boys, I believe the mom. And I just got a problem in Nolan Wells' case. I just got so many problems. It's too much. Too much. Okay? Too much. It's about the phone. We better call the mom. I better call the mom. Yeah. Because she going to try to trace that phone sooner or later. Now, something with the phone I want to talk to y'all about. We got how many? I got so many videos for y'all. Okay, listen to this.
She says that there was nothing sent out while Nolan was at Horn Island, which she found very odd. I have no reason to disbelieve her. So how can you say there were missing or there weren't missing? I don't think you can say it either way. Why don't they just get a search warrant and go get the phone? You know what?
Hold on, y'all. I'm feeling just like Nancy. Whoo, Lord, how much Lord I supposed to be making. And I haven't made a TikTok yet. Because the TikTok is where I'm supposed to chill out and take my stress out over there. But when I'm into a case, y'all already know me for 2021. How I am with my cases. I take my cases too serious. I ain't on nobody's side. I want the truth.
Forget all that. Officer Tatum, where is Nolan's phone? Do authorities have it?
I'm so tired of these commercials. It don't make no sense.
Now I actually look forward to putting on my glasses in the morning.
Well, from my understanding, authorities do not have it, and the family have not been cooperating with authorities to give the phone over. According to the testimony or written statement from the lawyer that represents the family, the Nolan Wells family, he had made mention that he's prepared to cooperate, but they have not cooperated yet, which is very interesting to me. You want to find out what happened to your son. You would think you would be doing everything you can to cooperate. I can't judge her. I don't know what's in their mind, but it just seems to be very off-putting for them not to at least give the phone over and do what exactly they told the world they were going to do, and that is to allow a forensic extraction of his phone. Therefore, the world can see if there is things that have been deleted. I think Tyler Cox is very clear about what he's saying, that the boys had nothing to do with it. So if there's anything missing from the phone, it had nothing to do with them. Now, I'll add this.
Now, okay, y'all. It's a couple of videos I want y'all to watch today, tonight, morning, evening, noon. Now, we're going to get into that tonight.
When you look at what Christine said,
Brandon, whoop, I'm going to go wrong, but you're saying a lot, and I want to address each thing so we don't leave anything out. Number one, you just stated that, basically. Correct me, you can paraphrase this any way you want to. It looks really bad for Nolan's family not to hand over the phone. Do you have any independent knowledge they have not handed over the phone?
according to their lawyer that wrote a statement, and the statement was, we're prepared to cooperate, but that was as of the 11th, therefore they have not cooperated. Tyler Cox has made mention that he don't believe they cooperated whatsoever.
Okay. Now, I want to move that. I want to move this video. I just want to start out with this video, but I want to move this video. I just want to start off with this video, but I want to move the video. Because this morning, I showed y'all this video. Of the friends speaking about the cell phone. What is it in the cell phone? But I heard the family say they'll turn it. We're going to get into that. I got a video for that. Why are we going through this about Nolan, the death of Nolan? Why are we going through this? Now, I'm just going to play this out right here, and then I'm going to stop this video and go to my other one.
To cause he told. Okay.
Yeah, partly, yeah.
And I want to get to that picture, because I think a lot of people are confused about the picture. You guys cleared this up for me the last time I came, but I want the world to kind of hear this, because I don't think I addressed it last time me and you was on the interview. People are saying, and this is how the picture went viral, that the people pictured in the photo were the ones that went on the boat with Nolan and came back. Can you explain that? Because I don't think everybody that was in that picture even went to Horn Island on the same boat as Nolan.
So I can say, whenever we all got out there,
Hold on, before you get there, because I think this will address another issue that people have of saying, well, why are they taking pictures if the reception is bad? Can you point out where this picture took place? What is going on with this infamous picture now?
Yep. So whenever we got there, like I said, I wasn't even on the same boat as Nolan. We pull our boat in. Nolan, their boat pulls in, whatever. I get out in the water. I walk over to Nolan's boat, and I'm talking to Nolan for a little bit, whatever. And I put my phone up on the dash, and Nolan puts his up there. As Nolan's putting his phone on the dash, he sees an actual little camera that one of the girls that came on the boat brought. And his first words was, he picks up the camera and he goes, "We gotta take a picture." Just like that. And in my mind, I'm like, heck yeah, like, let's take this picture. So that's
And see, and one thing I like about what he said right there, because the mom said he's very photogenic. He loved to take pictures, and he's going to take pictures. But this who Nolan didn't take pictures with his phone because of the reception. He took a picture with the girl phone with a camera. Okay?
You got me and Nolan and one picture, and then as we're taking that picture, Morgan and another buddy of ours come up and they're like, all right, like let's take a picture all together of us on the front of the boat. We're like, all right, yeah, let's do that. So we got on the front of the boat, and that's where that picture was taken.
So that was it taken from a phone or
No, like an actual little.
So the girl that took the phone of Nolan and him, y'all remember the front of the picture? The front of the photo that y'all see, the guy with the shades on, that's him. He still look like himself. They use a camera to take that picture. Okay, let me go here. I'm gonna come back right here. Now, I'm skipping around because I want y'all to, ooh, Lord have mercy. Somebody asked me to come back by here because they saw me on TikTok and I was going to make some music. Here we go.
And so that's what we sent to her, or that's what she sent to her, because we were just trying to help. You know, we weren't trying to cover up anything. We wanted to know where our friend was just as bad as everybody else does. I mean, that was our boy. We want to know worse than everybody else does. And so that's how that picture came about.
And I want to get to the phone situation of Miss Christine.
Listen to the phone situation, y'all. That's why they want me to come back here. They want me to come back here. To the phone situation. This is going to be important because I'm about to tell y'all, I'm about to let y'all hear what the mama said. I trust the mama, I trust the boys. If I trust the mama, I trust the boys. Okay? I trust what the mama said, I trust the boys. So that means what? We got to get down to business. Okay? All right. Okay, here we go. Listen to what he's saying about Miss Christina.
Miss Wells said online, and I've seen it on the news and everything, as if she had to come and hunt you down to get this phone. Now I know, Warren, you weren't at the house, and so you weren't there when they came to get the phone and all that. So how did this happen? Because last time we talked, you said you told, and I will call her Miss Christine, you told Christine that you had Nolan's phone. Like, can you explain?
This is going to be important because the video that I'm about to switch to is going to tell y'all what the mom said. Whew. Wow. I don't know why they want me to come back here and react on this. Golly, and we went through this morning, but this is what they want me to add, because they add a video to this, y'all, so they know I'm gonna be honest with the reaction. Hey, ATLC, what's up, Capricorn? Okay, so listen to this, y'all.
Explain that to me, because I'm confused. I don't know what's what. Did you tell her you had the phone? And when did you tell her you had the phone if you did?
Okay, so first we'll start off with, what I have to say in the Jax, but if Morgan has something to say, but I want to get this straight. One of the first things I told Miss Christine Wells in the first phone call that ever occurred with anything to do with Nolan Wells being gone, because I was the first person to call Miss Christine about anything. First phone call in anything to do with Nolan Wells was me making a phone call to Christine Wells. And one of the first things I said to her, with multiple witnesses here, pull up the phone call if you want. She said, oh, well, Nolan's location is with y'all at, where the house we were at.
Hold on. Hey, what's up, Chad? What's up? Listen to this, y'all, about the phone. This is very important that y'all listen to what he said, because I'm about to switch up. And then I'm going to come back to this. Wow. Listen to this.
What I have to say in the Jax, but if Morgan has something to say, but I want to get this straight. One of the first things I told Miss Christine Wells in the first phone call that ever occurred with anything to do with Nolan Wells being gone, because I was the first person to call Miss Christine about anything. Anything. First phone call in anything to do with Nolan Wells was me making a phone call to Christine Wells. And one of the first things I said to her, with multiple witnesses here, pull up the phone call if you want. She said, oh, well, Nolan's location is with y'all at, where the house we were at. And I was like, well, no, he left his phone with us. I told her this.
Stop right there. He said when she called, she said, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay, don't go nowhere, y'all. Hold on. Ouch. Good. Y'all, I got dogs. Hold on. Okay. This gonna be real. I got to have y'all. This is what I want y'all to do. Hold on, y'all. This is what I want y'all to do. This is what I want y'all to do right here. Listen. What I want y'all to do, I'm gonna back this back a little bit. What I don't want y'all to do is text. I don't want y'all to text nothing. I just want y'all to listen. Listen. The one thing about listening, you can get any answer that you want, but listen to what he about to say, because the next video I'm about to show you is going to say two things. I believe the boys. I believe the mother. I believe the boys. I believe the mother. Now I got to get the story right. Okay, here we go.
To the phone situation of Miss Christine or Wells said online, and I've seen it on the news and everything, as if she had to come and hunt you down to get this phone. Now, I know, Warren, you weren't at the house, and so you weren't there when they came to get the phone and all that. So how did this happen? Because last time we talked, you said you told, and I will call her Miss Christine, you told Christine that you had Nolan's phone. Like, can you explain that to me? Because I'm confused. I don't know what's what.
And it's gonna have to be very important that he explain it right. That's why he look at Jets. I trust the boys. I trust Miss Christina. The phone is not with a Warren. The phone is over Jack's house. But Warren called the mom. Okay, this has got to be very important that y'all listen. Warren called the mom. What you don't know, the phone is over his house. The phone and the keys is over his house, not over his house. But listen, y'all.
Did you tell her you had the phone? And when did you tell her you had the phone if you did?
Okay, so first we'll start off with, what I had to say to Jax, but and if Morgan has something to say, but I want to get this straight. One of the first things I told Miss Christine Wells in the first phone call that ever occurred with anything to do with Nolan Wells being gone, because I was the first person to call Miss Christine about anything. First phone call, anything to do with Nolan Wells, was me making a phone call to Christine Wells. And one of the first things I said to her, with multiple witnesses here, pull up the phone call if you want. She said, oh, well, Nolan's location is with y'all at, where the house we were at. And I was like, well, no, he left his phone with us. I told her this. She knew for a...
Okay. He said, while he was on the phone with Miss Christina, and that's what y'all got to understand. While he was on the phone with Miss Christina, she pulled up 360 and she realized that the phone was there, which he was telling her that. Listen to what I said, y'all. So, because a lot of people don't understand. When he called the mom, he told the mom what happened. He told the mom he left his phone with us. But the mom, the communication got messed up when the mom was on the 360. Made it look like he didn't. No. You don't tell me what to do on my channel. Because my people don't understand. Y'all don't understand what's going on. Don't tell me what to do. That's why y'all confused. Damn. Excuse me, TikTok. Let me say YouTube. Now, what I was saying. Right, they don't want you, they don't listen. People don't listen. So since they don't listen, I'm trying to explain to them. This is what this young man trying to say. He was telling the mom, the phone is with us. But the mom was on 360 while she was talking to him. God, y'all don't want to believe nothing. If you don't want to believe what's going on, if you don't want the truth, you're on the wrong channel. You're on the wrong channel. You're on the wrong channel. You're on the wrong channel if you don't want to believe what's going on here. The boy told the mom, the young man told the mama that we got the phone. But at that time, she was on 360 and saying that the phone is over there. But he already saying the phone, we got the phone, Miss Christina. Ooh, Lord, these folks.
And so she had to come and hunt you down to get this phone. Now, no, Warren, you weren't at the house, and so you weren't there when they came to get the phone and all that. So, how did this happen? Because last time we talked, you said you told, and I would call her Miss Christine. You told Christine that you had Nolan's phone. Like, can you explain that to me? Because I'm confused. I don't know what's what. Did you tell her you had the phone? And when did you tell her you had the phone if you did?
Okay, so first we'll start off with, what I understand in Jax, but and if Morgan has something to say, but I want to get this straight. One of the first things I told Miss Christine Wells in the first phone call that ever occurred with anything to do with Nolan Wells being gone, because I was the first person to call Miss Christine. Anything first phone call, anything to do with Nolan Wells was me making a phone call to Christine Wells. And one of the first things I said to her, with multiple witnesses here, pull up the phone call if you want. She said, oh, well, Nolan's location is with y'all at, where the house we were at. And I was like, well, no, he left his phone with us. I told her this.
It's a conversation, people. It's a conversation that, hey, once I start telling the mama what happened, once I'm putting myself in the boy's place, once I told the mother what was happening, she pulled up the 360 and pulled up that the phone was there. And the only reason why it looked like before she asked, because they are having a conversation. You go hear the mama side. I'm not taking sides. I believe the mama and I believe them. I'm not gonna do that for y'all people. I'm on the boy's side, I'm on the mom's side. He telling y'all that he was saying that he left his phone with us while she was looking for on the 360. Once she found out where his phone, once she found on 360 about the phone, that's when the conversation changed. They didn't get a conversation chance to roll. But I'm gonna beg it back, and then I'm gonna get to the mama. Cause like I said, I'm on the mother's side and I'm on his side. I don't see why y'all getting confused.
Jax, but and if Morgan has something to say, but I want to get this straight. One of the first things I told Miss Christine Wells in the first phone call that ever occurred with anything to do with Nolan Wells being gone, because I was the first person to call Miss Christine about anything. First phone call, anything to do with Nolan Wells, was me making a phone call to Christine Wells. And one of the first things I said to her, with multiple witnesses here, pull up the phone call if you want. She said, oh, well, Nolan's location is with y'all at, where the house we were at. And I was like, well, no, he left his phone with us. I told her this.
He said, well, he left his phone. When she mentioned that, so what? She went on 360 and saw that he left his phone there before the conversation went on. What's the problem? He left his phone, Miss Christine, he left his phone with us. He's trying to respect the lady, y'all, in the manner on the phone. He's trying to respect her.
Facts that we had his phone, and she knew that I told her, I said, yeah, he left it on the boat with us, like a bunch of people did. And so I want to make that very clear that I told Miss Christine there was no reason to hide anything. There was no issue regarding the cell phone. She could have came and picked it up, but instead she sent one of her friends to come pick it up, and that's
now I want to know, and I'm about to get to something else. I'm cutting all my videos. Okay, here we go. Let's listen to what the mom had to say. Wait a minute. Come on. Okay. Let's listen to this. The same thing you just heard. But y'all got to pay attention, though. Y'all got to listen to the key words. Here we go, right here. All right. Warren said that he was just calling and telling her that Nolan's was missing. During the time he was telling the mom that Nolan was missing, she was pulling up 360. 360 told her that the phone was there before he reached to what he's supposed to say. Y'all telling him what he should have told first and second. The first thing he did tell her that, Nolan, have you heard from Nolan? Okay, now I'm on the mama side right here. Listen.
One of the people that he traveled with who called to alert you all that Nolan was missing. Yes. So we know that 5:44, the boat returns, Nolan is not there. He calls to say Nolan is missing. I wonder if either of you ever want to answer, what happened in those few hours that prompted Warren to be concerned?
I'm not quite sure what would prompt him to be concerned, but all I can say is what I did that day. So, me and my sister, we made an order of pancit, which is a Filipino noodle dish for one of our friends. They were having a big family get-together, and we really didn't have anything planned for the 4th. So me and my sister are, cleaning up, and this is about 8. And she's like, hey, no one hasn't texted us. And that was the thing. No one was really big with communication with us, right? And so I call him, doesn't answer. I call back, and this is probably, I think, maybe around 8. Don't quote me on the times, guys. So then I call again later around 8, still no answer. And then I want to say I called one more time, and I think that was at 10:48. So I'm in the kitchen, my phone rings. Now this is probably early 11 o'clock, somewhere around there. Phone rings. When I make it back to the phone, and I'm like, whose number is this? Because, we get weird phone calls sometimes. They didn't leave a message. Number
I can understand the mama not answer the phone. Because y'all remember when Warren said I called the mama, she didn't answer the phone? This is what she's talking. This is the moment that she's talking about. She like me. If I don't recognize your number, I'm not gonna answer the phone. So the mama didn't recognize the number. Okay, that's what she's speaking about right here. Okay, listen to what they saying.
Up, I pick up the phone because it says maybe Warren, and I'm like, Warren. So this is 11:07. That's per my cell phone records. So I answer the phone. He's like, hey, Miss Christine, have you seen or talked to Nolan? I said, no. Why? He should be.
Now, she's speaking to Warren on the phone. Warren said he called her. And when she's speaking to Warren, have you seen or talked to Nolan, Miss Christina? And this is she talking to Warren. Okay?
With you guys. And he said, oh no, well, when we went to the island, there was a girl named Katie that he met and he had decided to stay behind. And I said, what?
So the mom said that he started speaking about Katie. Let me bag it back up. She not saying that he's speaking about the phone. He's speaking about Katie. Let's go back. Got to go back. Got to go back. Got to go back.
What was going on? He was going to be your biggest cheerleader. And I can attest to that because after COVID, my sister's like, oh, you should do social media. And I'm like, I don't want to do social media. I like to just watch others. And then Nolan was like, no, Mom.
He just talking about a good time.
I'll help you with the videos. I got you. And, just anytime I was like, oh, I just really don't want to do this anymore, Nolan was like, no, Mama, you hadn't posted today. I don't want to post. I'm tired. Yeah. But, that's the kind of person he was. He was God-fearing, God-loving. That boy had faith beyond measure. He was just a bright light. And he was our bright light. As far as that day goes, went to work, and he was making salmon, so he was FaceTiming me as I'm trying to see patients kind of in between, of course not answering the phone in the room. And he's like, hey Mama, how does this look? Is this enough season? Like, what am I supposed to do with this? And I was like, okay. I was like, you don't have to do that. And he's like, no, I'm gonna take care of it. I was like, okay.
You stay with Choice Hotels.
Y'all keep hang with me now, cause I got some. She ain't got to what Warren said. She ain't got to the point to what Warren said yet.
So he finishes cooking, get home. He's like, yeah, what you know about this? And he was, guys, when I tell you, he loved to joke. Like, he was just one of those people. He wanted everyone around him to smile, be happy, feel comfortable, and accepted. And that is the kind of person God made him. Us as parents, we definitely had that influence, but Nolan was just naturally a peacemaker. Yeah. And so, after that, it was, 8, and then he got ready to go. He did his normal, hugged us up. I love you, Mom. I was like, be safe, knowing this was going to be his last weekend before going back to school because football was starting, the summer training was starting, and this was his second year at Southwest, and so we knew this was going to be a big year for him. Dad and him had been training and doing all these things and really just kind of sitting with him and letting him know, like, hey, we're going to the next stage in your life as well as, your football career. So the focus was there, and he was ready. So he leaves that day. He leaves that day with, he drives his car, and he told us kind of a general, like, hey, we're going to go to the island. Like, we knew that, staying at Jack's house. And Jack's was a friend.
Jack's. He was going to Jack's house. Let me go back, because I got to let people see who they are talking about. He going over to Jack's house. Okay? That's Jax.
Met in passing before, and that's the thing. You know, I always say there's a difference in meeting someone, knowing of someone.
Hold on, mama. Hold on. Hold on, mama. Your son said he was going on a trip. You got it. I don't know what the problem is right here. I'm with you, Christina. But I'm trying to see, what are you trying to say? He's going on a trip to have a good time with his buddies, his friends, okay?
Island, like we knew that, staying at Jack's house. And Jax was a friend I think we've met in passing before.
She met Jack in the passing before. But he's spending the night over Jack's house because he's supposed to be going on a trip to the 4th of July weekend thing. But they met Jack through in passing before. So for your son to spend the night over there, he comfortable with Jack.
And that's the thing. You know, I always say there's a difference in meeting someone, knowing of someone, and then knowing someone. Knowing implies that we've sat down, we've had discussions about your hopes, your dreams, you know, knowing you, okay, hey, he stayed the night at my house, which Wyatt, one of his friends, he had stayed at our house a couple of times. And then Jax, again, that was maybe saw him passing a few times. There's only a handful of young men that we actually knew, like he grew up with. And when I say grew up, I'm saying from like first grade, they've known each other all through high school now that they're graduated. And that would be like Jalen and Javon, LeBaron. Those are kids that we knew. So it's been hard seeing all this kind of play out.
Yeah.
And, you know, these are people that he considered friends.
Yes. Dad, I want to ask you, because it was Warren Hudson, one of the people that he traveled with, who called to alert you all that Nolan was missing.
Yes.
So we know at 5:44, the boat returns, Nolan is not there. At 11 p.m., he calls to say Nolan is missing. I wonder if either of you, whoever wants to answer, what happened in those few hours that prompted Warren to be concerned?
I'm not quite sure what would prompt him to be concerned, but all I can say is what I did that day. So me and my sister, we made an order of pancit, which is a Filipino noodle dish for one of our friends. They were having a big family get-together, and we really didn't have anything planned for the 4th. So me and my sister are, you know, cleaning up, and this is about 8. And she's like, hey, you know, Nolan hasn't text us. Like, and that was the thing. Nolan was really big with communication with us, right? And so I call him, doesn't answer. I end the call, call back. And this is probably, I think, maybe around 8. Don't quote me on the times, guys. So then I call again later at around 8, still no answer. And then I want to say I called one more time, and I think that was at like 10:48. So I'm in the kitchen, my phone rings. Now this is probably like early 11 o'clock, somewhere around there. Phone rings. When I make it back to the phone, and I'm like, whose number is this? Because, you know, we get weird phone calls sometimes. They didn't leave a message. Number pops back up. I pick up the phone because it says maybe Warren. And I'm like, Warren? So this is 11:07. That's per my cell phone records. So I answered the phone, and he's like, hey, Miss Christine, have you seen or talked to Nolan? I said, no. Why? He should be with you guys. And he said, oh, no, well, you know, when we went to the island, there was a girl named Katie that he met, and he had decided to stay behind. And I said, what?
Okay. Right there. This is where the confusion come in. This is where the confusion come in. This is where the confusion came in. So when he talked to the mom, he started saying the last time he saw Katie through with the friend, with no last time he started saying the last time I saw Nolan when he was with this girl named Katie.
About. And I want to get to the phone situation of Miss Christine or Miss Wells said online, and I've seen it on the news and everything, as if she had to come and hunt you down to get this phone. Now I know, Warren, you weren't at the house, and so you weren't there when they came to get the phone and all that. So how did this happen? Because last time we talked, you said you told, and I would call her Miss Christine, you told Christine that you had Nolan's phone. Like, can you explain that to me? Because I'm confused. I don't know what's what. Did you tell her you had the phone? And when did you tell her you had the phone if you did?
So first, we'll start off with what I have to say, and then Jax, but and if Morgan has something to say, but I want to get this straight. One of the first things I told Miss Christine Wells in the first phone call that ever occurred with anything to do with Nolan Wells being gone, because I was the first person to call Miss Christine about anything. First phone call, anything to do with Nolan Wells, was me making a phone call to Christine Wells. And one of the first things I said to her, with multiple witnesses here, pull up the phone call if you want. She said, "Oh, well, Nolan's location is with y'all at."
Now, and right here, that's not how the conversation. Whew, Lord have mercy. And that's not how the conversation with what the mom said. That's not the way the mom said the conversation went, y'all.
Because we know our child. And
Listen. He was saying something about a girl named Katie. Okay, here we go. This is very important because he's speaking of Katie. The mom said the mom's stressed out. The mom's stressed out. The mom's breathing. So, hold on. We're not going to speculate.
communication with us, right? And so I call him, doesn't answer. I end the call. Call back, and this is probably, I think, maybe around 8. Don't quote me on the times, guys. So then I call again later around 8, still no answer. And then I want to say I called one more time, and I think that was at like 10:48. So I'm in the kitchen, my phone rings. Now this is probably like early 11 o'clock, somewhere around there. Phone rings when I make it back to the phone, and I'm like, whose number is this? Because, you know, we get weird phone calls sometimes. They didn't leave a message. Number pops back up. I pick up the phone because it says maybe Warren. And I'm like, Warren? So this is 11:07. That's per my cell phone records. So I answer the phone. He's like, hey, Miss Christine, have you seen or talked to Nolan? I said, no. Why? He should be with you guys. And he said, oh, no, well, you know, when we went to the island, there was a girl named Katie that he met.
See, the mom said that he started that conversation out with, he was with a girl named Katie. He is not starting out the conversation like that, y'all. That's not how he started the conversation. He started the conversation out this way.
With anything to do with Nolan Wells being gone, because I was the first person to call Miss Christine about anything. First phone call, anything to do with Nolan Wells, was me making a phone call to Christine Wells. And one of the first things I said to her, with multiple witnesses here, pull up the phone call if you want. She said, oh, well, Nolan's location is with y'all at, you know, where the house we were at. And I was like, Well, no, he left his phone with us. I told her this. She knew for a fact that we had his phone, and she knew that I told her, I said, yeah, he left it on the boat with us. Like, a bunch of people did. And so I want to make that very clear that I told Miss Christine there was no reason to hide anything. There was no issue regarding the cell phone. She could have came and picked it up, but instead she sent one of her friends to come pick it up, and that's where these things start to get twisted. But no, there was never an issue with the phone. I told Miss Christine, one of the first things I told her was, we have Nolan's phone, and that's where that ends. There was no issues with the phone or the keys, so I want to make that clear.
So was the keys on the boat with the phone?
No, the
Okay.
keys were
They're at my
at
house.
Jackson's house because we all stayed there the night before. I'm sure if I would have left my truck at Jackson's house, I would have left my keys there too. Because if I don't have
It's just
my
one more thing to
if I
think
don't-
about on the
yeah, if I don't have my car or my truck, then
Okay.
why would I bring my keys?
All right, I just want to get to this part where the misunderstanding. While she's telling while she's on the phone with him, I'm looking up my 360, and he's right there with y'all. So he's speaking of a girl named Katie. These are two different conversations, y'all. And I can understand that it's things going on and the conversation gonna be different.
Like, whose number is this? Because, we get weird phone calls sometimes. They didn't leave a message. Number pops back up. I pick up the phone because it says maybe Warren. And I'm like, Warren? So this is 11:07. That's per my cell phone records. So I answer the phone and he's like, hey, Miss Christine, have you seen or talked to Nolan? I said, no. Why? He should be with you guys. He said, oh, no, well, when we went to the island, there was a girl named Katie that he met, and he had decided to stay behind. And I said, what? Because we know our child. And Nolan isn't one to be like, oh, well, I'm just going to throw caution to the wind, and I'm going to stay here with this girl that I just met. So I'm on the phone with him. Now I'm in a panic. I'm running to my room. Elmore was in bed watching a different movie, and I'm like frantic. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, Nolan is missing. I'm trying to pull up the GPS as I'm talking to him, and at some point he tells me that I was like, well, his phone says GPS Life 360, not Snapchat.
Right.
Life 360 says that he's on land, and he was like, well, no, we have.
Well, see, I can understand this. I can understand the mama and Warren conversation. I can understand both of them. I wonder why people don't understand both of them. You dealing with an older guy and you dealing with a younger guy and you dealing with an older woman. They move in a different pattern. He nervous, he scared, and she nervous because her son missing. Let me let the mom talk.
Have his phone.
Emergency started in the backyard.
She shocked now because he said, well, we got our phone. Why she shocked?
We need to have a good partner.
And I'm like, wait, what? And I'm like, okay. Because at that point, you're telling me, this is coming from Warren, don't worry about it. We're going to find him. It's going to be okay. Don't tell me not to worry. This is my child.
But that's a young boy. That's a young man. I know y'all want these boys to be so grown, but they ain't but 18. I know y'all want them to be so grown, but they 18, talking like they 18, okay? All right? We know they consider it as an adult, okay? We understand that, but they are talking their age. That's their age. He's talking his language. And we, as older adults, we see the picture different because we're different. We're dealing with young people. Whew.
That I brought into this world, and you're telling me not to worry. Absolutely not. So then it was after the phone call ended, of course, asking him for information. What was he wearing? He was like last seen Northwest tip, black shorts, sunglasses. That's important. So I end up calling DMR. Spoke with the DMR. She took all
Just
the
for our audience, DMR.
So DMR is because he went missing on the island. They are basically the marine people, right? They're the ones who's going to launch the boats to go into the water and all that. But before getting off the phone with Warren, he was like, "Hey, I know some people at Coast Guard." I sent the young lady the information, and she tells me, "Hey, let me call you back," because she was like, "I'm not sure if this is going to be in our jurisdiction," essentially. So then she calls back and she tells me, "Okay, yeah, we spoke with Coast Guard."
Okay.
And I'm like, "Okay," but they're like, "This isn't."
I just want to get to the part, make y'all understand. The mom, when she spoke to him, she was on her 360 and recognized that the phone is there where he is right here. Regardless if she mentioned it to him first or second or third or fourth, he said, "Oh yeah, we got the phone, Mom. We got the phone right here." That's what he did. He said, "We got the phone here." Yeah, of course. If you on the phone with me, you dialed in 360. Of course, the phone gonna say it. Don't matter what first or second like that, y'all. So the point is, he did mention to her that the phone was at the house. But the thing is, to me, was why the husband didn't go get the phone, why the friend had to go get the phone. It's so much confusion in this situation because we will handle stuff in a different manner. I would have sent my husband to get the phone instead of somebody else. Because when they came 15 people deep. Whew, Lord have mercy, Jesus. Why is that make a matter? Okay, let's get right here.
Supporting these boys from the very beginning. You have had a lot to say behind the scenes, not a lot of public statements, but I want to get your thoughts on this phone because I just saw Don Lemon play a clip of you and Ed on some interview, which I'm not familiar what interview it was, but what came up from the interview was the cell phone of Nolan Wells, and it appears, which I'm shocked that this is a reality, it appears that the family of Nolan Wells have not given his phone over to investigators to even look at a potential crime that they claim was committed by deleting contents from his phone. What do you have to say to that, Tyler?
Well, I think it's strange too. We were all told by Ben Crump from the steps of the courthouse in a public address, I think that was on July 11th, after he met with DA Angel Myers, that they were going to cooperate and give the phone over. I don't understand why just now, just I guess last night it came out that they haven't. And so I don't understand why they haven't gave the phone over when our clients, Morgan, Jackson, Warren, have fully cooperated with investigators. I don't understand why we have to do phone dumps, or people feel like we need to do phone dumps and phone extractions and give the Live 360 and the Snapchat information and GPS information. We've done all that. Plan on doing as much more as anything they asked us to, but I don't understand why they haven't.
Now, earlier today, I showed y'all the video where the parents saying they are ready for the people to come get the phone. Now they ready for the people to come get the phone.
Given in no one's phone yet. I'm at a loss for words with that one.
Tyler, are these boys at all, from your understanding, obviously you're their attorney representing them along with Ed, are they being investigated as suspects in a crime?
No. Just just to put it as plainly as possible, they are not being investigated as suspects.
Okay, this is what I don't understand. Hold on, y'all. Hold on for 1 second. I don't understand why ain't nobody locked up in this situation. I'm not saying I'm just saying somebody need to be locked up in this situation. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, I had to check on my dogs, y'all. I had to check on my dogs. Dogs just like children. Okay, here we go, y'all. Here we go. Why should they left and Nolan? Okay, well, you said why should they have left and Nolan there? Because Nolan wanted to stay. Nolan was alive around 6 o'clock. Nolan was alive at 6 o'clock, allegedly.
Anytime there's what we call a unnatural death, the DA's office presents the information they have on that to the grand jury that's impaneled. And so this is one of those cases. This is not a criminal case now. I don't know if it will be later, but I can tell you it won't be when it comes to Warren, Jax, and Morgan.
Yeah, I think that's one of the interesting findings that I came to realize after doing interviews, and it's been
okay. Let me go back here. Let me go back here. Let me go back here.
Okay, and was it taken from where you docked at, or was it taken out there at Horn Island?
It was taken out there.
Okay, so but wasn't on the phone.
No.
Hey, I want to clear this up.
Yeah, y'all be careful what y'all say about my boys, cause they'll sue y'all. That's right. Be careful what you say about my boy, cause they'll sue y'all. Okay? Because I'm with the boys, I'm with the mom, I'm with the attorney, and I'm glad of the Officer Tatum put it right here. Thank you so much, Officer Tatum. Let the boys be. They telling their story, and don't nobody believe them, but I believe them. We on this channel believe them. Thank you.
Obviously, have more information. Were people uploading? I know we talked about the service issue, but were people uploading onto social media?
I mean, you could.
Not really, though.
You could be realistically good. You could if you want to sit. If you're motivated enough to do it, yeah. Like I made a phone call to my mom, and I had to call her like 8 times before she picked up because either her service was bad, she was on the back side of the aisle, on the south side, or my service was bad, and it was just hard to get through. But like if I went and posted a video on Snapchat, like honestly, I don't think it would like either post or send to somebody. I think
Okay.
I sent my buddy.
I think like like I said, the boys did what they supposed to do. How to pat them, y'all want them to go in. That's up to y'all. They called the mom. They told the mom, and the mom, the way they didn't do it. They young. Y'all got to understand they young. They ain't gonna talk like y'all grown folks.
Bringing it because if I lose them, then just more stuff to bring.
No. Keep my son out of
You
this.
guys explain this phone thing.
You don't know them.
I think Warren already addressed the fact that he told Christine that he had the phone in his possession. So
All these people coming on our channel over here, we are for the boys in this case. Get off my channel if you're not for the boys. Okay? Now don't come over here causing no confusion, because I will block you. We are for the boys over here. Now I'm going to block you, child, because I don't know what your problem is. I don't know what your problem. You want us to blame the boys over here. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Now get your butt somewhere else. We ain't blaming them boys, kids. We just listening to. So far, they've been consistent in what they said.
the whole Life 360 thing is not adding up as far
Coming
as
on here, miss.
compared to what they're saying. Now, how did whoever came and get the phone, how did they get in touch with you guys, and how did they get the phone back?
So I got a call from a kid we went to high school with. He called me just asking me questions. He saw people posting on Snapchat, like the picture that was circulating. And he called and he was asking questions. He was like, "Where's Nolan? When's the last time y'all seen him?" And then he was like, "So where are y'all at?" And I told him, I said, "We're at Jackson's house." And then Warren got on the phone.
And that's what the mama said. The mama said he's supposed to be over Jack house. And that's where he went. He went over Jack house. And that's where he was. Now, let's go back right here with the mama before we get to the attorney. Only thing the mom did is just confusing people here. He mentioned to the mom that, yeah, his phone over here and his keys over here. Yeah. But the confusion come in just because they not saying it in the pattern that y'all want to say it in. The mama said, he said, "Oh yeah, the last time I seen him that he was with this girl named Katie." That's all. I'm so tired of them. I wish they'll stay off my channel with all that negative stuff.
Our jurisdiction, you have to contact the city of Ocean.
When you're talking to young guys and adults, real young adults, for young adults, their story is not going to sound like Jesus. Y'all don't have no young kids. Y'all ain't got no kids 20-something and 30-something years old. Jesus.
I said, okay, hang up the phone, call in Ocean Springs Police Department. They say, hey, you have to physically come down and give a report. I said, okay, so on our way, because we don't live that far from the police station, on our way there,
I'm sick and tired of telling. I wish y'all would stay on the other channel. Please stay on the other channels that y'all think that didn't happen. Stay over there with them negative people. Stay up and over here with the positive people, okay? Please stay over there. They got the keys because he left his keys over to Jack house where he spent the night. Duh. And then the phone was on the boat. What they supposed to left the phone on the boat? Good. Ooh, Lord, where y'all from? Stay over there where y'all from. Stay over there. Please stop coming over here.
stop by the hospital, because there's a hospital that's maybe 5 minutes up the road from our house. Stop by there. I'm like, hey, have you seen this? You've been brought in.
Right.
No, ma'am. You know, we had
Allie.
Thank you. Run out. We go to the police department. Get to the police station. And the officer basically says, again, this is out of our jurisdiction. And at that point, I'm like, my God, who am I supposed to talk to? Who is supposed to help me with this? So then he said, it's going to be, you would have to call DMR. I was like, you've already called DMR. DMR said it's not in their jurisdiction. So we end up, I think at some point I had called Jackson County Sheriff's Office. Yeah. So she calls back and she's like, hey, are you there? I said, yes, we're here, but he's telling us the same thing you guys told us, which is no, we can't take it. She gets on the phone with a police officer. Now this is Jackson County Sheriff's Department speaking with the Ocean Springs Police Department. Ocean Springs Police Department is saying, this is why we can't take this information. She says, okay. He gives me the phone back and she's like, okay, I'm just going to take it. I'm just going to take the information. And that was, we met an officer. It was after midnight. Right. Yeah, somewhere after midnight. Met him in the McDonald's parking lot, gave him the information. He was just like, okay, thanks. That I was like, like, where is the urgency? Mm-hmm. And so, as far as we know, there were no boats on the water that night. We actually, his high school football coach, Coach Bramlett, texted Elmore that morning. He said, hey man, I got a boat. Because again,
We don't have boats. Let me make that very clear. We do not have a boat. We're not boating people. We don't do water like that, okay? So Coach Bramlett's like, hey, I got a boat. So we was like, great, let's go. We're on the water. We go out there. We walk the island. Cell phone works.
Now, I'm glad that the mother, let's stay on Nolan mother, okay? I'm glad that the mother did let me know that she did go out there on that island. Cause the video that I did earlier, I had no clue that the mom went out on that island. My mom did go out on the island. Okay. I'm glad she said that in this.
Fine, I actually had almost an entire conversation with my grandmother who was in a panic as we're walking this island looking for anything. I just want to pause there. The cell phone worked fine because in the reporting there's been so much reporting that there's poor cell phone reception, and this is some of the disputes that we have about that night. Dad, feel free to jump in here because they're saying he met this young lady, Katie, and that he stayed back. According to the reporting, Katie is saying no. He said he was going to go with his friends. According to the reporting, the friends say no, he left us his phone because there was no reception. Dad, have you found any consistencies? Have you spoken directly with any of his friends?
Well, the first inconsistency was you called me and tell me my son stayed on the island to talk to a girl. My son would never do that. That's not in his character. I didn't raise none of my kids to do that. The second thing is, you say he doesn't have his phone. He doesn't leave his phone. I would wake up sometimes in the morning and Nolan would have his phone here right in my face. And I'm waking up cussing the foot.
Let me tell y'all something. All these parents who saying, I raised my children not to do this, I raised my children not to do that. Y'all, when they're away from you, you don't know which way they doing it. You don't know how they doing it. But you know you didn't tell them to do it that way. Okay, let's get up here. Let's go back right here. Let's go right here. Let's go right here. Like y'all need to hear right here.
All of the young men have now talked to me on camera. I had a conversation with them the first time I interviewed Warren, but on camera. And it appears to me that this has gone beyond reality. When you have young men who are not even being investigated criminally, being defamed in the public, and I don't want to hear anybody say.
I want all these devils to go over there on this man channel right here. I want all these people to go to this man channel and say what you got to say. That go to the channel. Stop saying what your children won't do around you. I have seen them do the opposite off around you. Them parents always saying, oh, I know my child won't do this, my child won't do that, my child won't do that off around me, my child won't do that. Alright. I seen a lot of girls took their hair down. The mama had their hair so pretty going to school. And then I said, no, you better fish your hair. Come here, let me fish your hair like your mama had. Because I know your mama didn't fish your hair like that.
Alluded to or flat out said that they killed Nolan. They all the way from the Cito call to them claiming that there's video evidence of Nolan's leg on the boat to them claims that there must have been impropriety. That
Thank you, Jillian.
Must have been deletions on the phone, which would implicate them in a crime. Saying that they deleted, which would be damaging evidence or discarding evidence, whatever you want to call it. Ed, I want to hear from you. How does this reach the level of defamation? And can you clear up, because people seem to be confused about defamation. They seem to be confused at why the boys have hired you and have Tyler on their team and why they're doing interviews. Can you address that, Ed?
Sure, I'd love to. Thanks for that question. First of all, in order to be accusing somebody of an infamous crime or criminal activity, which of course is defamatory, it's not just the accusations that they participated in the murder of their best friend. It's more than just the accusations of murder. It's also accusations about destruction of evidence, tampering with evidence, engaging in a cover-up, which are, of course, all separate crimes. So we've got multiple levels of defamation. There are accusations of heinous crimes, infamous crimes, online, everywhere. It's like whack-a-mole.
I'm proud to work for United Healthcare because you get to help people.
My thing is the phone.
We don't even know where to begin. If you step back and you think about how vast the scope of defamation is in this case, it would overwhelm you. So instead, what we've been focusing on, we have been methodically identifying the worst offenders, right? And those worst offenders, those are going to be the first lawsuits. So that's number one. Then there's another level here, another very important topic. People are saying, oh, Warren and Jackson and Morgan, they thrust themselves into this controversy. They've made themselves into the story. They're sucking up all the oxygen. So that is the opposite of reality. That is completely false. That has nothing to do with the reality. And that is just adding to the problem here. Here's what really happened. Here's the truth. Warren, Morgan, and Jax were private individuals, private citizens, anonymous individuals, anonymous citizens who were just living their lives. They never wanted this. They never invited this. They never asked for this. They were thrown to the wolves, thrown into the fire by these elixir salesmen, hucksters, vultures, opportunists, hustlers. Now, after they've been defamed, now they have an absolute right to defend their reputations, both in the courtroom and in the public square. They were forced into this, and they were forced to defend their reputations. And rest assured, they will defend their reputations to the maximum extent of the law. And that's exactly what Tyler and I are going to be doing over the next few months.
All right. Let me go to here. Let me go here. Let me go here.
So they come to my house, right? And they kind of
Hold on, before we get there. Was it confrontational or was it just just trying to find? It was confrontational already.
Wouldn't y'all agree?
Yeah.
So he was
110%.
He was like
very
confrontational.
When did this happen?
Yeah,
Was this on the night of the 4th or the next
this
day?
was the night when they. This was before they came and got the phone.
So this is the night of the 4th, yes.
So you had already spoke to Christine,
Correct.
and then you get a call that was hostile.
Yeah, and then Morgan handed the phone over to me. I was like, oh, let me talk to him, because I knew the guy. And I was just like, hey, like, and he was like, where y'all at? Where y'all at? I was like, we're at Jackson's house. You know, it's like calm down. And then he hung up on me, and then, okay, so they pull up to my house. And at this point, I'm kind of freaking out. We're all trying to put our heads together on where Nolan is. And I kind of like isolate myself in my room, just kind of get in a ball and just lose it kind of basically for a few hours. And they just walk into my house, you know, and I hear all this commotion going on in my living room, and I'm just like, what in the world is going on? So I walk out there. There's probably like 10, 15 people in my house I don't even know. And they're all up in our faces, going crazy, asking where Nolan is, and we don't know. And finally they get into Wyatt's face, and they're like, where's your boat? Where's the boat at? Demanding his address and stuff like that. And he finally ends up giving it to him,
And then let me go ahead and state though, while they're there, we give them the phone. They have the phone at this point. Then they get the address to his house. Then they go to his house. And they're searching all over his boat, what I heard and stuff like that. Well, anyways, I don't really know much about that, but they come back to my house at around 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's his dad this time. And his dad's being really respectable, really, really nice to me and stuff like that. And as long as another friend of theirs, and he's asking me like, where are the keys at?
I don't think that they need to arrest the parents. I think that they need to find out what's going on. Because this is a serious case. This case is high profile. And I don't know if folks taking it serious or what.
And he just laughing and giggling and stuff like that. So it's twice. To me, there's 2 lies that he told me. As a father.
Oh no.
Like I said, we went on the island. And actually a classmate of mine called me that morning as we were going out to the island with Nolan's coach. He's like 40 miles away. He calls and, hey man, I got the boat. Me and my boys, we're gonna go out there and help you look. I didn't call him, he called me. And we're gonna start on this end. But I said, well, we're probably gonna start on the other end. So
and so I'm so glad that the family telling us that they did go out there and see. They did go out there to see. They didn't make us think that they went out there to see the area. But I'm glad that now, listening to this, they did go out there to Horn Island. But it was made us seem that they don't make it seem like they went out there to Horn Island.
Me, my wife, Coach Bramlett, and a high school classmate of mine were the only. Well, to me, we were the first ones out there. Like I said, we docked the boat, got out the boat, walked on the island. She had a whole conversation with her grandmother on the island. Got back on the boat, went back around the island. I guess that would be the north side, facing the Gulf of Mexico. I get another phone call. So my phone worked fine. So this whole thing about not having phone service, I don't know. I don't know if it's the carrier or what, but ours worked fine. I think those around maybe 8 o'clock.
Yeah, because he finished up around.
What was it, Jackson County or the
Jackson County Sheriff
showed up.
I don't know about that 09 boot. I don't think they was gonna get rid of nothing. I don't think so. If they wanted to get rid of anything, they would have got rid of anything a long time ago out there in the water. It's the way I'm looking at it. If they wanted to get rid of his stuff, they would have got rid of the stuff a long time ago when they was out there in the water. What's up, boss girl?
They finally showed up. And by that time, I was like, he's not out here. I was more focused that he was at someone's house.
That was
so. That's where my hopes and feelings were. So we left. The county stayed out there. My friend, he stayed out there because he called. He's like, well, we're going to stay out here a little bit longer. I said, okay, I appreciate it. So we leave.
Y'all need to get y'all membership. I ain't got but one member. He did real good. Clarence, shout out to Clarence.
Later, my friend calls me back and he said, well, we're going to give it a go. But he said, look, I can gas the boat back up. And if you want to go back out there, we can go back out there. I said, I don't want to go back out to the island. I have a feeling that he's not there. And I don't want to go back to the island. So he said, he offered, he said, well, if you do, we can go right now. He said, don't worry about it. I appreciate you coming out there. But he said, at that time, the helicopters were out there, more Coast Guard, more people were out there. So we go back said go back, get back on there. And as far as the keys, was that night? Or was it?
That was that night.
Let me read what you said.
Okay, let me back up.
But there's a reason for Nolan not having media in his phone when he was someone who always took photo. But you got to think about that too, 09 Boat. If he had his phone off and he was on Snapchat, they speaking of Snapchat, they not speaking of Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. They speaking of Snapchat. So if he had a phone off, it wouldn't be stuff would come through his phone later. But like he said, like Nolan said, oh, we got to take pictures. I said, well, the 4th of July is the only thing I can speak of. Because that's what happened on the 4th of July. He was on the water on the 4th of July with his phone off. So he didn't take pictures or photo or nothing like that. You know, I can't make nothing up. I can't make this up, y'all.
Two, you have his phone. And three, you don't give me the keys and I ask. I don't know any father who would believe, just if one of my friends did that. I'm gonna be cordial with you, but I'm gonna watch you. And I just...
Ben, I want to ask you, because I'm hearing these two parents who essentially had to become search and rescue or law enforcement, looking for their own child with such a lack of urgency on behalf of law enforcement. Obviously, we're talking to black journalists. We can't ignore the ugly racial history of Mississippi. I looked into the demographics of the Jackson County Sheriff Department. It's quite asymmetrical.
They have the car and the keys.
And the lack of value when it comes
the
to
parents had a car and the keys.
Does this sound like a normal?
I'll put it right in. Y'all, where y'all been? These people on y'all channel ain't told y'all nothing what was going on. The keys, they got the keys and everything.
I was like, hey, come meet us, and I sent him a video, and he was like, dude, I couldn't get a hold of you all day. And like that explains the point. Like I sent him a video where we're at, and it never sent until I got inshore because I had no service.
Would it shock you? Because Christine Wells, Nolan's mother, went online. She was very shocked that she said Nolan didn't have any Snapchats or something. I must have that whole day. Is that shocking to you if he did or did not have photos or videos or stuff uploaded to social?
Not at all.
MLB on Fox, streaming live on Fox
1. How long, y'all?
With friends happens
Commercial, honey.
Not at all. Not at all. Because I mean, like we said, we've been out there many times before, and nobody's on their phone out there. First off, and then second off, if you want to take Snapchats and stuff like that, you can, but you're just really gonna have to save them to your camera roll and upload them back whenever you get insured. Because when you go to send it, it's just gonna have an error. And most guys, when they're out on the island all day, they're really not thinking about posting something on their Snapchats.
Okay, 09.
The phone was taken on like a camera that's not a phone. Now, how did that get to you guys, and how did that ended up getting to the internet?
So, whenever we first realized that Nolan didn't, I'm not gonna say he didn't. When we first realized we don't know where Nolan's at, the first thing we were trying to figure out, or his mom was, what was he wearing? And so, we were trying to remember what color his shorts were. We couldn't quite figure that out.
I said black.
Yeah, I think we said
Because
black.
I really did. He was wearing navy blue.
Yeah, there was like dark blue shorts.
Dark. I just said black because I was trying to piece everything together and help out.
And so at this point, we're freaking out. We don't know where our friend's at. And the girl that took the picture, she was like, okay, well, I just took this picture of today. This is what color swim trunks he was wearing. And his mom asked for that to post on Facebook to say, if you've seen him, whatever, this is what he was wearing.
Jack, the one in the middle is the one he spent the night over to his house. That's his friend.
And so that's what we sent her, or that's what she sent her, because we were just trying to help. You know, we weren't trying to cover up anything. We wanted to know where our friend was just as bad as everybody else does. I mean, that was our boy. We want to know worse than everybody else does. And so that's how that picture came about.
And I want to get to the phone situation of Miss Christine, or Miss Wells said online, and I've seen it on the news and everything, as if she had to come and hunt you down to get this phone. Now, I know, Warren, you weren't at the house.
It said Warren lying.
When they came to get the phone and all that. So,
Why you
how
say
did this
that?
happen? Because last time we talked, you said you told, and I would call her Miss Christine, you told Christine that you had Nolan's phone. Like, can you explain that to me? Because I'm confused. I don't know what's what. Did you tell her you had the phone? And when did you tell her you had the phone if you did?
Okay, so first we'll start off with, what I have to say, and then Jax, but and if Morgan has something to say, but I want to get this straight. One of the first things I told Miss Christine Wells in the first phone call that ever occurred with anything to do with Nolan Wells being gone, because I was the first person to call Miss Christine about anything. First phone call in anything to do with Nolan Wells was me making a phone call to Christine Wells. And one of the first things I said to her, with multiple witnesses here, pull up the phone call if you want. She said, oh, well, Nolan's location is with y'all at, where the house we were at. And I was like, well, no, he left his phone with us. I told her this. She knew for a fact that we had his phone. And she knew that.
I don't think she knew for a fact that y'all had his phone, but I believe that she knew after she did the 360 for a fact that y'all had the phone. Let's put it like that. I'm not going against them, I'm just saying that part.
A bunch of people did. And so I want to make that very clear that I told Miss Christine there was no reason to hide anything. There was no issue regarding the cell phone. She could have came and picked it up, but instead she sent one of her friends to come pick it up, and that's where these things start to get twisted. But no, there was never an issue with the phone. I told Miss Christine, one of the first things I told her was, we have Nolan's phone, and that's where that ends. There was no issues with the phone or the keys, so I wanted to make that clear.
So was the keys on the boat with the phone?
No. The keys were they're at my house. At Jax's house, because we all stayed there the night before. I'm sure if I would have left my truck at Jax's house, I would have left my keys there too, because if I don't have
one more thing to think about on the boat.
If I don't have my car or my truck, then why would I bring my keys on the boat, So, there's just no point of bringing it, because if I lose them, then there's more stuff to bring. I don't bring.
So I want you guys to explain this phone thing. I think Warren already addressed the fact that he told Christine that he had the phone in his possession. So, the whole Life 360 thing is not adding up as far as what you're saying to me compared to what they're saying. Now, how did whoever came and get the phone, how did they get in touch with you guys, and how did they get the phone back?
So I got a call from a kid we went to high school with. He called me just asking me questions. He saw people posting on Snapchat, like the picture that was circulating. And he called and he was asking questions. He was like, where's Nolan? When's the last time y'all seen him? And then he was like, so where are y'all at? And I told him, I said, we're at Jackson's house. And then Warren got on the phone, and I don't know. So they come to my house, right? And they kind of
hold on before we get there. Was it confrontational?
Right, Jude.
Just trying to find.
See, that's my thing, Jude. Why would they kill unalive him? I have to say unalive, y'all. And I got to say that. Okay, let's go to... Ooh, Lord, honey, it is too much. This is too much. Whew. Hope she get justice for her son.
And historical.
With Starlink,
I hope she get justice for Nolan. Justice for Nolan.
due to the lack of technology.
We ain't forgot about him. We ain't forgot about him. He just ain't talking.
Context for us, because as I look at Mississippi, I don't have to tell you of all people some of the immediate thoughts that surface.
No, we ain't forgot about him. Why, how we gonna forget about? He ain't doing nothing but help them.
And he had the parents connected, and they told.
And nobody forgot about that boy. I ain't forgotten about none of these children. I just understand. I want to know when the phone, they waiting on the phone to be. Whew, Lord, it's so much. It's just people, grown people.
Done and concluded an investigation for the integrity of the investigation. But have they reached out to you at all?
Not once. And I'm not sure if you remember this, but Judge Ashley Cole,
Right, Stephanie.
after this happened, she had to deactivate her Facebook account because of just the sheer hate, death threats, credible threats that were coming her way. Once she reactivated it, she made a post and she tried to explain, one, that she wasn't even in the state of Mississippi at the time this happened, and two, should Christine Wells or Ben Crump want to reach out to her or to us or anyone else, please reach out to us. We've been begging Ben Crump, we've been begging anyone or the representatives to come talk to us. We have been an open book.
I don't understand why. Okay, this is my thing is. The lawyers are asking them to please come talk to us. Please come talk to us. What's the problem with them coming to talk to them, y'all? What's the problem with the family come? We ain't worried about if he drunk or what. We talking about this. What's the problem why the family won't come talk to them? Why? The door is open. You saying that the mega lawyers are lying? Why y'all say that though?
We're begging. Why have they not spoken to us? If you're looking for answers, and you suspect, our guys to have done something, why won't you talk to us? And quite frankly, it's because our guys don't have any answers. Once they left the island at 4:30, that was it. Nolan Wells was still on the island at that point.
Yeah, I find it to be very interesting. Does the defamation?
Motor, you funny.
Does the lack of communication add to defamation? I'm not saying that it does, but I want to hear from you guys. I'm not a lawyer. I just wonder, does that add fuel to it? Meaning that a person had the opportunity to know the truth, but may possibly have decided to evade knowing the truth to push an agenda. And I'm watching statements that were made early on when the avenues of communication were open. I saw text messages from, or at least I saw phone calls from Warren saying that he called Christine Wells and said, look, we have the phones here. That he called Christine Wells and said, hey, Nolan is missing.
And I just showed y'all that. And I just showed y'all that information.
With her. The lines of communication was open with Miss Ashley Cole. And with those lines of communication open, with those attempts from other parents to say, hey, we would like to talk, can you talk? The evading of that, and they have every right to evade it, but to then come out and act confused or act like there's no real answers to some of the things that they said when they had an opportunity, is that a moot point, or is that somehow could be adding to defamation, not for them, but for others in that similar capacity?
It's definitely relevant. So, for the individuals who are going to find themselves in court,
but see,
it's relevant. It's a factor. It's another brick in the wall of the evidence here. There are many people who have caused incalculable damage, almost immeasurable harm, and those are clearly people who have no desire to learn the truth. They do not want to know what really happened because it doesn't serve their agenda. right? And their behavior is not consistent with the desire to get to the truth. Not at all.
My thing is,
You know,
whoever doing the head of the investigation ain't doing need to do a better job. And this is what I'm gonna let y'all hear some of this. They were saying that they are waiting.
Foundation is way too heavy, so I go with
They were saying that they are waiting on them to come get the phone.
and just helps them.
They are waiting on them to make arrangements so they can come get the phone. But they ain't can't got the phone yet.
As many of you know.
Hold on. I played that earlier. Hold on. They waiting on them to come get the phone. Hold on. Let me put it right here.
What will accountability and justice look like? Well, that's the same thing they want for their child. Whatever it would be for your child, that's the same thing they want. Whatever investigation you would do for your child, that's the same investigation they want. We're not asking for anything special. We just want equal justice for our children too.
And I think that we must be very much emphasizing is they have said again here with the press conferences and statements they've made throughout when they started at our headquarters in Harlem speaking to the press. They're not trying to come to conclusion. The other side did, saying that there was no foul play. They're trying to tell us what happened, and we're going to stand with them on that, and as well as other cases around the country. Yes, sir.
Let me just say this. Well,
I mean, I think that social media has distorted a lot. I think for myself and being with public figures that you're gonna have social media lying on us every day. I don't even know if I'm really here according to social media. But what hurts us is the distortions they've done on the family. Where they've harassed her in her job and sent stuff to their house. Distorted with the father's question. They didn't ask to be public figures. They only are trying to get justice for their son. So I would just say whatever social media people are trying to get likes and hits and all, do that against people like me that offered ourselves, but they didn't ask for this. All they want is what happened to their son.
And I'll simply say this because that question has come up, and I released a statement, and I want to be clear about it. We defend the First Amendment rights of content creators reporting on Nolan Wells' case. We stand with content creators, independent journalists, and citizens who are responsibly reporting on the Nolan Wells case and asking legitimate questions in pursuit of truth and accountability. The First Amendment protects robust public discussion on matters of public concern, and those protections are not reserved just for traditional media. We are deeply concerned when cease and desist letters, threatened lawsuits, or other legal pressure become tools to intimidate or silence lawful scrutiny. There is an important difference between knowingly spreading false information and asking questions.
That's not what the boy said, 09 Boot. That's not what the boy said.
I want to make sure I get it exactly as we said.
The boys are saying that it's not racist. The boys are saying it's not racist. Right, I don't even know the history of Mississippi.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Max.
My thing is, the boys never made it. The young men never made it racist. They never made it racist.
There's an important difference between knowingly spreading inconsistencies, expressing opinions, and demanding transparency.
Have anybody ever thought that the young men, the young men thought is sending a message to people where they can't even talk? They are threatened. Their life are threatening. Have anybody ever thought that they are sending y'all a message what happened out there on the island and everybody skipping over it and not paying enough? Y'all, sometimes young people talk in circles to give y'all information and y'all don't even pick it up. Somebody ain't picking it up. Somebody ain't picking what they saying up. I'm picking it up though. I'm picking it up.
Not be silent. Reporters should not be silenced, and legitimate questions should not be met with intimidation. Those seeking truth and accountability in the Nolan Wells case have every right to continue asking questions and demanding answers, because we are America and we have a right to the First Amendment that includes black people and all people.
Oh, now, Bo, you just talking.
My question is for counsel, for Congressman Bass. Has the formal request for FBI from the Congressional Black Caucus, Liberty, FBI, and what deadline have you given them for a response?
We've actually we've actually written a letter, a formal letter, and it's already been executed. We've already sent it forth. We are giving them time to respond.
It's okay, Nada. I got rid of it.
But we did say that we are expecting to have an answer as soon as we possibly can.
Did y'all hear what she just said? Let me back it up what she just said. What the young lady just said.
My question is for counsel, for Congressman Bass. Has the formal request for the FBI from the Congressional Black Caucus, Liberty, FBI, and what deadline have you given them for?
This is not about famous for the people in the middle stages. We are on justice for not Mo 3, just for Mo 3 too, but we on the justice for Nolan Wells, okay? Y'all need to focus on Nolan. Stop worrying about what other people doing. Ain't nobody trying to be famous when they already famous. Y'all.
We've actually we've actually written a letter, a formal letter, and it's already been executed. We've already sent it forth. We are giving them time to respond. We did not give them a specific deadline, but we did say that we are expecting to have an answer as soon as we possibly can.
Tell us whether or not the family members have been contacted with these officers of trouble.
Attorney Eric Hertz and attorney partner of the president.
I'm Eric Hertz with law firm Eric J. Hertz PC, and I am heading the independent investigation in this case. I think the first thing, before I get to the exact question, is what's worse than losing a child? Probably nothing. But what makes it horrible is not knowing, and transparency.
But have you all talked to anybody, anyone who was out there on the island? Have you all put forth an effort in telling people that you got any answers? You can stay anonymous, make them feel comfortable where they can talk. Have y'all? I haven't seen it. I'm sorry, I haven't seen it.
So with us going into this case as doing an independent investigation, we first thank all the people on stage, all the people that have helped, and we thank you, the media. We have had much communication with the district attorney, and I feel that is confidential. We have cooperated, I can tell you that, and we just want to cooperate like anyone else would have to cooperate, and we are continuing to do that with the duty to our clients.
What about that autopsy?
Just to address that specifically, you may already realize and already know there was a meeting on July 15th in Mississippi with the DA's office. At that meeting, there were several things discussed about the investigation regarding Nolan Wells and what happened to him. In that meeting, there were several things that were set out and agreed to, and we expect the DA, as well as our own team, to follow those agreements.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Y'all need to focus on the important people and stop worrying about what spectators are talking about. Focus on what these people are talking about. Can I hear him?
Say the same thing. I think that we leaned over backwards in every press event and film during the unit saying we weren't going to prejudge. Yet they keep getting lambasted. Imagine this. You're losing your child and you're being attacked for asking what happened. I mean, they're not political figures. Why are they under attack for asking for the truth? So it's not about us accepting, it's about whether or not those involved can accept. Yeah.
Yes,
Well, they always try to shut us up. I will not be silenced.
These folks already famous. See, anybody think like that, it got something going on with themselves. These folks are already famous, y'all. She's a nurse. She got it going on. She got her own TikTok channel, which she been had way before Rodney Nolan. All these folks famous right here. These folks famous right here. And I'm famous.
Yes, I have Frank with the Black Wall Street Times out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Condolences to you both. My question is for Mr. Wansley. When you went to Dak's house and you used the past tense, and literally said to you, when you told us, the media, that the brother, or that he said that Nolan was like a brother a day before the body.
Oh, they want to be in the spotlight. Who want to be in the spotlight though?
Yes, I am. You said what you said.
Talk loud, daddy. Stepdaddy.
Put yourself in a father's shoes and just found out that your child is missing. The only thing you want to know is where he is. Trying to go back and think about specific words at that moment, I wasn't thinking about that. My mind and my focus was finding my whereabouts of my son.
I think that what we're trying to carefully do is not improve the investigation. So a lot of what may and may not have happened in terms of the dialogue with the lawyers and the family would not be proven to testify.
Yeah, it's a lot that they can't talk to people about because it's this case is still open, honey. All right, y'all. Let's see. Do I want to finish this? Woo wee. Y'all, I had to come here and get y'all this information right here. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel. But the thing is, just for Nolan Wells, these are his friends, these are his associates. And whether we accept it or not, I'm out, y'all. And thank you for watching and being here and sharing your opinion.